So, how does a state park actually become a state park? Obviously, every park's history is different, but the story of Camp Helen State Park in Walton County, Florida is as winding as the sandy oak canopy trail that traces along her salt marsh shores. Although the 180-acre Camp Helen State Park is a relatively young addition to Florida's park system, the land, well, as you might guess, the land has been around for a while. Prehistoric middens and mounds indicate that humans inhabited this area more than 4,000 years ago. Park Ranger Clayton Ironwolf not only has the most amazing name in the world, he's also been here for part of those 4,000 years.
Ancient history here at Camp Helen State Park starts back about 700 AD. The native peoples that would have called this land here at Camp Helen State Park their home. They saw it as a great resource for them as far as the proximity to fresh water, with Powell Lake being right here, the Gulf of Mexico and all the marine life that was out there, the animals that would come to the water, made a great spot for them to hunt.
In 1928, a gentleman by the name of Robert Hicks acquired the land. His company, Hicks and McCaskill Investment Company of Defuniak Springs, Florida, planned to build a retirement complex here, overlooking the Gulf of Mexico and Lake Powell, one of the largest coastal dune lakes in the world. If you don't know what a coastal dune lake is, you're probably new here. Hicks started his vision by constructing a sturdy wooden lodge loaded with many exceptional materials and touches, including log beams from South America and granite from the ship ballast that once sailed across the Atlantic from Spain.
The construction of it started immediately but wasn't finished until 1932. By the time the construction was done, Mr. Hicks had passed away. So Miss Hicks, along with her daughter Margaret, they moved down to the property permanently. She sold the property that they have up in Virginia and moved down here full-time year-round. But Miss Hicks realized that she was going to have some source of income other than just living off of her savings. So that's when she had the four little cinder block cottages built here, which we refer to as the Rainbow Cottages. And she would rent those out to passing travelers as they would come up here, given the fact that during that era, if you were heading east on what's now Highway 98 and you were wanting to go any farther, you weren't going to be able to make it because there was no bridge here at Inlet Beach. So you would have got stuck at this point, and it would have been a long journey where you would have had to cut back to the north and then go further east to make your way over to the Panama City area.
Each tiny home slept 2 to 4 people and was equipped with a kitchen and bathroom. Today, these cottages remain among 9 buildings here in Camp Helen State Park that are now listed on the National Register of Historic Places. In 1945, a company known as Avondale Mills purchased the estate. A cotton mill and fabric manufacturer, Avondale Mills was founded in 1897 by Braxton Bragg Comer. Avondale operated plants throughout Alabama, and it provided many unusual benefits to employees at the time, including housing, medical care, schools, community centers, and recreation facilities. Comer enjoyed naming his businesses and properties after the strong matriarchs in his family. So he dubbed this property Camp Helen, named after his son Fletcher's wife. But this wasn't actually the first Camp Helen. Avondale's original Camp Helen was located at Hog Island Sound on what is now Tyndall Air Force Base, about 30 miles to the east. The camp had been operated in the summers for Avondale employees, but in 1941, Comer's land was requisitioned by the U.S. government for military use in World War II. So, he purchased Margaret Hicks's home and land to establish a brand new employee vacation retreat right here in Walton County. This new Camp Helen on Lake Powell opened to employees in 1946. By the 50s, Comer had added permanent duplexes, a recreation hall, and a fishing pier that ran right out into the Gulf. The majority of the pier was destroyed in 1975 during Hurricane Eloise.
The pilings that are still up out there is an iconic image of this whole entire area, as well as Camp Helen State Park. Lots of people have had their wedding photos taken out there, family reunion photos. It's just an image that's locked in people's heads. And one of the most recent video shoots that took place out there was with Luke Bryant. It continues to be a real drawing point to everybody that wants to come down to this area and check it out.
Every summer, Avondale Mills employees were offered a week at Camp Helen where they could bring their families to enjoy boating, fishing, sunbathing, shuffleboard, volleyball, and even basketball. Meals were served 3 times a day in the dining hall, and in the evenings, guests retired to the recreation hall for dancing, music, and bingo. In 1987, Avondale Mills discontinued its use of Camp Helen as a vacation facility, and the state of Florida purchased the entire property in 1996. A year later, Camp Helen State Park was officially added to Florida's park system. Today, Camp Helen State Park is open for the public to enjoy every single day of the year from 8 a.m. until sunset. Margaret Hicks's beloved log lodge is now home to interesting artifacts from Camp Helen's long meandering legacy. Her rainbow cottages are no longer available for rent. You can only imagine what astronomical nightly rates these tiny homes would command on Airbnb. But although the accommodations have changed, the amenities and activities here are pretty much precisely what our predecessors enjoyed, including swimming, picnics, hiking, beachcombing, fishing, and, well, just spending some time with family and friends. Fortunately, some things never change.